Welcome back to our podcast, Don't Chew With Your Mouth Open. We're glad you decided to join us again today. As you're aware, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. For those of you who joined us for the first time, welcome, and we hope that our content is worthwhile for you. For those of you who continue to subscribe to our podcast, thank you for joining us and continue to support us. Please continue to like and share and continue to help us build. We are focused on building a podcast that assists individuals, families, corporations in the global south. Developing world people, we want to solve your problems. We want to help you find quality financial advice, investment advice, business advice that will ensure that you're able to move from one strata of social mobility to another. Our goal is to inspire and help, and hopefully, as you listen to the podcast further, you'll hear what we have to say. Let's get into it. Welcome to our episode of our podcast, Don't Chew With Your Mouth Open, where we'll discuss business, economics, finance, investments, and wealth creation for the global south. I was recently watching a coaching session in which the coach was talking to a bunch of players, one of whom was my son. And he says to the players, especially those who are responsible for ensuring the driving of the team, he says, if you don't take control, you will lose it. If you don't take control, you will lose it. He was saying to them, if you don't take responsibility for ensuring that you execute your job and you wholeheartedly manage your responsibilities, you will lose the game. Now, he continued to say to them, winning and losing is outside of your control. But what's within your control is your performance, your work effort, your ethics within the game, and you can then take control of those elements and you can succeed. If you don't take control of those elements, you will lose control and somebody else's will be imposed on you. And that will be the opposition's will. And as I thought through that, and I was driving home, I realized this applies a lot to life, but specifically to our finances. If we don't take control of them, if we don't impose our will on them, we will lose control, and they will, and whoever else demands that money will take control. Simply to say that your money has multiple demands every day. There's something somewhere that wants to take that rand from your pocket. And if you don't impose your will, the rand will leave your pocket. Many people have said a fool and his money are soon parted. They are not speaking about the money, they are speaking about the fool. The lesson here is that you need to impose your will. If you walk away from your responsibility of ensuring that you take control, that you're managing your behavior, you're managing your life, you're managing your spend, if you don't take control of that, it will take control of you. And inevitably you will lead to a life where all the money you've worked for is consumed. You then go further into debt to try and address the desires you have. And I thought about this even slightly more further when I spoke with my son about it. He said to me, but Dad, how do I take control of everything? And therein lies the error. The goal is to not to take control of everything. The goal is to take control of yourself, your decisions, your framework, how you think through things, how you conduct yourself. That is what you need to take control of. None of us have control over circumstances. The sun will rise tomorrow regardless of how we feel. If there are clouds in the air, it'll rain. If there is a coldness because it's winter, we need to wear jackets. We can't control circumstance. But what we can control is response. That is the root word for responsible. Response. How do we respond to the given situation? And if we don't have adequate responses, we then will lose out on the work and our life's work and our efforts, thereby our income and our wealth. So what are we trying to say? Don't lose yourself. Don't lose yourself to whatever desires you have. Don't lose yourself to marketing. Don't lose yourself to societal pressures. Don't lose yourself to things that don't align with what you're trying to achieve. Focus on the goal. Focus on where you're going. Because once you lose yourself, you lose control. And the loss of control is how people get into difficult situations. I have a cousin who loves Formula One. And he often says that a driver crashed out. And I ask him, how does a driver crash out? And the answer is always the same. He lost control. So when drivers lose control of their cars while they are racing, they eventually crash out of the race. There are scenarios in which some drivers don't, but that's rare. And that analogy is the same with us. When you lose control of your vehicle, when you lose control of your finances, you lose control of your life, you crash out. And that crash out, in some instances, can be fatal. So we have to speak about it. You have agency. What is your agency over your finances? One, awareness. You must be aware about where you stand, what your income is, and how you're able to live a particular life. What your goals are and how to address them. Two, boundaries. What is the limits you have around what you can do? How are you going to conduct yourself given those limits? Three, actions. What are the steps you're going to take to continue to grow that wealth? How are you going to build that towards what you want to do? And the fourth level of agency is decision. What are you deciding to do every day with the money you have in your pocket? How are you going to conduct yourself with that? My last story is I had a roommate in varsity. That man was so frugal. He taught me many lessons. He would limit his lifestyle to what he had in his wallet. If it was 300 Rand, that's how he governed himself. He would prune himself down to that 300 Rand. He never asked for extra, he never borrowed from anyone. What he had is what he lived within. And that level of discipline and control over his life was a significant indicator for me that we need to live lives where we take control. Otherwise, we lose it. I hope this episode was meaningful to you, and we look forward to you joining us in future episodes. And thank you for those of you who've listened, subscribed, liked, and shared. We look forward to your comments and any other additional information you'd like to share with us. Thank you for being with us. Don't chew with your mouth open. Cheers.